Hello everyone, thank you for watching my ThinkPad videos. Today, I, ThinkPad lover, would like to introduce my all 24 ThinkPads at once. Topics which are common to ThinkPads will be covered in this video. Since I'm dealing with the topics of ThinkPads, the screen will be covered with black, so to add an accent, I put on a red shirt with the image of track point. And please forgive minor mistakes because the content is extensive. So let's get started. First, let me explain the overall picture. The theme is Introduction of ThinkPads by ThinkPad lover. Based on that theme, I'll explain the following order. Introduction of ThinkPads I have. Why do I like it? Characteristics that are common to multiple models, and recommended modification. At one point, I counted the number of PCs at home and was very surprised that I had 24 ThinkPads. Moreover, including the ones I had in the past, there are 33 ThinkPads purchased so far. It seems that I had that reason, and I hope I can talk about it as well. Since there are many models, I'll introduce the characteristics of each year by year. First of all, from the 2011 model. There are a total of 6 X220. These are my origin. First of all, I'll introduce the model equipped with Core i3 mod CPU. One installs Windows OS and the other installs macOS Sierra. Even with Core i3 model and manufactured 9 years ago, if you limit the usage, you can still use it. Next, there are two Core i5 equipped models. One is also Windows OS and the other is macOS High Sierra. And there are two Core i7. Similarly, one is Windows OS and the other is macOS High Sierra. However, the Core i7 Windows PC that I use mainly has broken recently, so I'm thinking about repairing it using another system board. I think it's an interesting model because it's not only practical but also playable. Next, I have one X220 tablet. This is equipped with a touch panel that can use both pen and finger. However, I don't know if it's a malfunction or a specification. Touch panel does not function as intended. I replaced all the monitor parts, but it didn't fix. So I'm not using it at the moment. If there is no problem, I won't use it. Also, there are two T520. I've been using it since 2011. It's a memorable model. One has upgraded the CPU from dual core to a quad core and is using it as one of main PC. The remaining one is kept for backup. It is useful when you want to use a large screen with one unit. It's hard, that's why I like it. There is one T420S here. I replaced original TN high definition panel to IPS FullHD panel. It is thin and light, which I like, but I'm a little worried about its durability because its hinge was broken in the past. There is also one T420 on the right side. Similarly, I replaced TN high definition panel to IPS FullHD panel. I'm currently using it on mobile purpose with a large capacity battery. It is sturdy and gives you a sense of security when you carry it around. It's heavy though. One of the features of the 2011 model as a whole is that it is equipped with a Rust Classic keyboard. This model has a mysterious charm, so I have purchased as many as possible. Up to this, cheap recycled batteries can be used, which is good because genuine batteries are no longer sold in the market. Also, 2011 models will be one of the last notebook PCs which can remodel freely as well as 2012 models. It is like a laptop version of desktop PC remodeling. In addition to replacing the memory and hard disk, you can change the CPU and LCD panel by disassembling it. Insert SSD in MSATA slot to make it a bootable disk, or insert a W1 card to add 3G communication and GPS functions. Now, 5G communication is coming, so it is pretty outdated. Some models such as T420 can be converted to Full HD by incorporating a dedicated module. And some models such as X220 sold a different module directly to the system board to make it Full HD. On top of that, Hackintosh conversion is relatively easy. For models after 2012, the hurdle of modification raised because the SPI programmer is required to write directly to the IC chip. Finally, few special models can use USB 3.0, such as X220 equipped with Core i7 CPU or T420S. Therefore, these two models are sold at slightly premium prices in the second-hand market. This was the introduction of the 2011 model. Next, we'll move on to the 2012 model. I have two X230. One is used as a main PC and the remaining one is reserved for backup. If I don't repair the broken X220, this X230 will take the place as well. It's well balanced and reliable to use. There are also two tablet versions of the X230. In the same way, use one as a main PC and the other one for backup. Unlike the X220 tablet, this is an outdoor model which uses Gorilla Glass. The difference is you cannot use your finger to operate the screen. Therefore, you need a stylus pen to input. Tablet version installs IPS panel by default, so the screen is bright and beautiful. To sum up, I can use it as a normal PC as well as drawing a picture. It is heavy and takes a bit of place, but I like this model a lot. And there is one T430. If something goes wrong with the T420 currently using for mobile, I plan to make the T430 a successor. So I'm not using it right now. I like it though. The main features of the interior 2012 model are the official adaptation of a 6-row isolation keyboard and USB 3.0. Other than that, it feels like a legitimate evolution of the 2011 model. And 2012 models will be one of the last notebook PCs which can remodel freely as well as 2011 models. Next, let's move on to the 2013 model. I have two X240. It was the first model to introduce a low voltage CPU and has changed considerably compared to the previous X230, which has a standard voltage CPU. Since the design has just been redesigned, I think it can't be helped. There are few things I'm not feeling satisfied. One of my X240 is not in good condition. I think the connection problem, so I'm planning to repair it. I also have two T440p. This is used as a main PC and the other is for backup. I'm enjoying this PC for mods. Many functions can be added and it is highly extensible. Except for X220 and X230, I like the typing feel the most. This model is thick and has reminiscent of lunchbox design of old ThinkPad. I have one T540p. I replaced the TN FullHD panel with a 3K Panasonic IPS panel. Since the screen is beautiful, I use it for watching videos. It's also highly extensible, so modification is fun, same as T440p. As many of you know, a major design change has been made from this generation. Keyboard pitch and stroke depth changed. Adaptation of integrated trackpad, thinning and housing. X series is equipped with a low voltage version CPU. T series is equipped with a standard voltage CPU that consumes more power but faster. And a model with a P at the end has been added, only for this generation though. The power connector was changed from round to square shape. And I think it was from this generation that the 15-inch model came with a numeric keypad. Because of the ambitious design changes, there were some parts that I felt had advantages and disadvantages when I used myself. In 2014, it seems that the main model of ThinkPad was not sold for this year, so I'll explain the model released in 2015. The 2015 model I purchased, it was X250 only, and I bought two. Both are Core i7 specifications. I'm using it as one of the main PCs. The other is for backup. The main reason for purchasing two units is that the FullHD IPS panel is supplied by one vendor, which is LG. This is very important for me because I do not have to worry which panel is installed when purchasing. And this model is last equipped with D-sub port, also important. In a case like me, who frequently change the external LCD monitor, the D-sub port is still useful. By the way, the next X260 that I used at work is supplied by 3 LCD panel vendors: LG, AUO, and Innolux. One of them is installed. Depending on the panel installed, the connector position also changes. So, if you have X260, you need a caution when replacing with new panel. That is why I bought two X250. The performance of the low voltage CPU has improved considerably from the previous models. I felt the speed improvement. This is one of my favorite. To summarize the characteristics of this generation, the touchpad has been changed from an integrated type to a touchpad with independent buttons. I was surprised that the T450p, the successor to the T440p, was not launched. Also, it was surprising that even the T550 was equipped with a low voltage CPU. So, if you want to buy a high performance ThinkPad, you have to choose an expensive workstation. This is the last model equipped with a D-sub port as standard equipment, so I need to use it carefully. Finally, let's talk about the 2017 model. I have one 5th generation X1 Carbon. Because it is a flagship model, I can feel the luxury as a whole. It is light and the CPU speed is reasonably fast. It's so thin that only this PC fits neatly in my business bag. My own is equipped with a WQHD resolution IPS panel, and like the X250, LG is the only panel supplier, so I didn't have to worry about the fortunes. There is almost no places that can be modified, but the satisfaction is high. The feature of this generation is that it has become more compact by adapting a narrower frame. Also, the shape of the power connector has changed from square to USB Type-C. It's convenient, so I hope the connector shape will remain the same for the time being. Finally, I don't have now, but I used to own 9 ThinkPads in the past. There were too many X220 and T520, so I sold 2 each. Besides, there were also X121E, T430S, X1 Carbon first generation, and T440S. That's all for this time. I have introduced all the ThinkPads I have. I'll talk about the details I have not covered for each model later. Next time, I'd like to talk about why I like it, characteristics which can be seen in same models, and recommended improvement. Lastly, if you like the content of this video, or if there are improvements, please leave a comment in the comment section below. I would be grateful if you could rate it as well. Also, if you really like it, please subscribe to the channel. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next video.